Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NUR AZZAHRAK binti Zakaria. Number entry is A192627. Today I want to talk about the learning style. The learning style is a method or way to help students in develop thinking and understanding to solve problems in learning better. My learning style is auditory, which is learning through listening to podcasts. In this essay, I will prepare two things that I will implement and apply in learning. The first method I use in this auditory learning style is learning through listening, which is the podcast. Auditory learners find it easy to absorb and receive information through hearing. Therefore, I prefer to listen to a presentation by the teachers or audio so that I can repeat the sentences with my own mouth, and also have is learning that is difficult for me to understand, such as a pronunciation in English. Another method, visual, the easiest to absorb and reverse information if the information is presented in my form of pictures, charts, and diagrams. The way I use this usually use visual. That's the why I use this visual is to learn more easily and more effectively. I will use the YouTube application that comes with text, more colorful pictures to make it easy for me to attract more interest to better understanding by listening and seeing. The two methods I use are very useful for me to better recognize every word and pronunciation in the English language, which is very important for me. This way is more effective, and very new words and vocabulary learning is so easy for me to remember. First of all, as a visual auditory student, I will state that there are two types of way or method in learning style when I study. The method I use is learning with podcasts through hearing, such as listening to new words, English song, and learning by watching through the YouTube application, watching story, cartoon, learning video on how to apply vocabulary when making sentences in English. As we know, learning through listening very interesting and fun because we won't get boring easily. In fact, we will be more interested in the various form of tones. By listening will be also influenced as a person's mind to develop and be able to repeat easily and repeatedly. Each learning information can be incorporated into the mind setting for skilling to skill to pronunciation and remember each subtopic and vocabulary learning. The method of listening through this podcast is very simple. I can better understand and read. The method I can also help me to apply every new word to math in class or want to communicate it using English. It's also the same as the second one, learning method by watching video and pictures that accompany to the text so that I can learn new words and pronunciation styles. This is important. Learning increases the use of sentences with the pronouns in certain words. For the method, I usually use it on English subject, which requires more understanding for me to be more comfortable with the class in the progress. I also once misusely when in class. In some cases, I find the learning by listening through podcasts is very useful for applying in learning, and it is very helps me to understand faster when I am in class. As an example, I can give is when the lecturer asks us a question in English, I will no longer be in fear and wondering in my mind about the question that has been asked, and I can answer it easily and more calmly. In addition to learning by listening to podcasts, I can also stay focused while in class, and I can also explain to classmates who don't understand some words. A study with a lack of understanding in understanding the English language is very difficult for me to understand, but learning by listening through this podcast in an easy method for me can hear, memorize, and repeat each new word more quickly, especially and I face exam. People around me speak using English and so on. As an auditory student, I use two different ones input types in my daily learning. Using the first method is learning to listen through podcasts, and the second method is to study by watching the YouTube application. Learning by watching YouTube is very easy, fun, and better understanding of something. This method can help to be simple and easy to learn regardless of whether it is in class or outside of class. This is the same as the second method. Learning by watching a video or one that has accompanying pictures and that's video content that you want to understand and learn. Normally, I will also use this method for English subject to build sentences or make easy that require a lot of words and the correct use of vocabulary and needs to be remembered because they have some words but different meaning, and also this situation and of the sentences. When I have time, I will watch English movies so that I can add more knowledge and learn new words. In some cases, I can even identify that's learning by watching YouTube or movie and accompanied by text. It is very useful and easy to understand and allow me to understand better. For example, when I want to practice my English, I will usually remember what each video I watch, and it will be easy for me to convey through writing an essay about a related topic or story. In addition, learning through watching YouTube and movie, my brain will usually respond and also help me remember each information presented so that it is easy to understand while listening to various tones and voice and reaction. In conclusion, learning through watching YouTube or movie without text is quite difficult to learn every meaning of the storyline, but At the same time, also learning by using watching videos, understanding each sentence through with this text is very useful. That's why can help remember a new words faster. Based on the two learning style method used in class, the first method is to study through listening to podcasts, and the second method is watching YouTube application or movie that have text. For me, the two methods have difference in terms of my levels or of understanding based on the two input used. For the equation of the two input involves listening and thinking skills that help use memory more sensitively, quickly, and even effectively. In my opinion, the method I used have similarity and difference, and equation can see which method suitable for me to learn and apply learning will in class or anywhere. I am also more open-minded after I start to master little by little every time. I get new words and it is make it better for me to stay motivated in learning English. Thank you.